drowning in buzzwords lately. I feel like data-driven is following me everywhere.
Oh, tell me about it.
But you know what? It's everywhere in business. But, like,
Yeah.
what does it even actually mean? Like, really? Who's actually doing this data-driven stuff?
That's our deep dive topic comes in. Business intelligence managers.
Oh, okay.
Or BIMs for short.
Catchy.
And let me tell you what.
What?
These folks,
Yeah.
they are in high demand.
Yeah. And RoleCatcher, they're amazing. By the way, for all things Korea, they've seen, like, this massive surge
Oh, wow.
in companies, like, scrambling, desperate for BIMs.
Interesting.
So clearly businesses are like, data's important.
Right.
But they need someone who can, like, actually do something with it, right?
Yes, exactly.
Make those insights and turn them into, like, action.
Precisely. They unlock those data insights and turn them into action.
Yes.
That's what we're exploring today with, well, help from RoleCatcher's insights.
Okay.
We've got excerpts from their Business Intelligence Manager Career Guide, a sneak peek at their, get this, AI-powered interview prep tools,
Ooh, fancy.
and an overview of how their platform helps job seekers stand out.
It's like the cheat sheet to understanding what BIMs really do.
Yes.
How the role is, like, changing and evolving.
Right.
And most importantly for our listeners, how you can use this knowledge to your advantage.
Yes.
Whether you're trying to hire one, work with one, or even become one.
Exactly.
Oh.
So,
Let's decode the role.
yeah, let's decode it.
The career guide goes deep into what a BIM does.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it's so much more than analyzing data,
Right. There's got to be more to it.
Yeah, so...
Give us the inside scoop.
Okay.
What are some of these areas that a BIM might be focusing on within a company?
Okay, so think of it this way.
Okay.
They're like diving deep into a company's, like, operations.
Okay.
Especially their supply chain.
The supply chain.
We're talking everything from warehousing, storage, to, like, actual sales.
Wow, the nitty gritty. It's all about analyzing every single step of the way to, like, pinpoint where things aren't,
Right, where the inefficiencies are.
Exactly, the inefficiencies.
Okay, so that makes sense. But it's not just about, like, finding problems, is it?
No,
They have to fix them.
they find the solutions.
Okay.
They don't just analyze numbers, they tell stories with the data.
Oh, data storytelling.
Exactly.
Love that.
They drive real change.
Okay.
So, for example, let's say a BIM, they find a bottleneck
Okay.
in the shipping process.
Right.
They don't just, like, send up a red flag.
Right.
They're going to dig deeper, figure out why it's happening.
Right. Get to the bottom of it.
Exactly. Is it, like, a logistics issue?
Okay.
Is it a technology problem? And then once they, ID the root cause, that's when they can brainstorm solutions.
So they might optimize those delivery routes, implement a new inventory system.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Or even, like, restructure teams for better communication.
So it's really about
Yep.
improving communication between departments, streamlining all those processes we talked about.
Yes.
And ultimately, that's how they boost that bottom line.
Exactly.
Music to any company's ears.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially these days. It's competitive out there.
It is.
But the career guide mentions something else
Okay.
that I thought was really interesting.
What's that?
It's not just about the number crunching.
Right.
There's this big emphasis on, like, industry trends and innovative processes.
Yes.
So you can't just see what's happening in the company.
Right.
You got to have your finger on the pulse of the whole industry.
Whole industry, exactly. Because the role of a BIM, it's becoming more strategic.
Right.
They have to be forward-thinking, anticipating the changes, and figuring out how those changes are going to, affect their company.
So they're kind of like bridging that gap then
Yes.
between the data and the strategy.
They are bridging the gap between data and strategy.
Yeah. Okay, I'm hooked, but how do they actually do that?
Well, let's say
Yeah.
there's a growing trend
Okay.
of AI-powered personalization in e-commerce.
Okay.
A good BIM. They wouldn't just, acknowledge it and move on.
Right.
They would analyze how that would impact their company.
So they might look at
Good.
their current e-commerce platform, maybe their competitors.
Yes, competitors, target audience, all of it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then they would take those findings to, the higher-ups,
Right.
to the leadership team,
Yeah.
and they would give data-backed recommendations.
So it's not just having the data, it's knowing what to do with it,
Exactly.
how to make it work for the company.
Precisely. That's what makes it so fascinating.
Yeah.
And so valuable.
It's about connecting the dots then
Yes.
between the data, the industry trends, and that strategic decision making.
Yes. Connecting the dots, seeing the bigger picture, not just the numbers.
Not just the numbers. Yeah, that's such a good point. Let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about the career path of a business intelligence manager.
Okay.
Let's say someone's listening and they're like, this BIM gig, this is it. This is the dream.
Yes.
What are the typical stages they might go through?
That is a great question.
Yeah.
And luckily, the RoleCatcher guide, it lays it all out.
Okay, perfect.
So you might start as an entry-level business intelligence analyst.
Yep.
To be focusing on data collection and like basic analysis.
Okay.
But then from there, you could move into like a business intelligence developer role.
Okay.
Where you're designing the systems
Oh, wow.
and processes for collecting.
So you're moving from working with the data to actually like building the tools that handle the data.
Building the tools that handle the data, exactly.
That's fascinating.
It is. And then as you get more experience, you'd become like a senior business intelligence analyst.
Yeah.
You'd be leading teams, refining the processes, and then you present those findings to,
To the higher ups. The higher ups.
So it's like climbing the data ladder.
The data ladder. I love
You're
those.
getting more responsibility, more leadership, and ultimately
You reach the top.
you're a business intelligence manager.
Exactly. Business intelligence manager.
That has such a nice ring to it.
It does.
But what's interesting is at that manager level,
Yes.
there's a bigger emphasis on the leadership
Yes.
and strategy.
Yes. It's not just about looking at data anymore.
Right.
You're using the data to actually shape the whole organization's direction.
Wow.
The whole thing.
That is a perfect example of what we were saying.
Yes.
That bridge between data and strategy.
Bridging that gap.
Okay. You've climbed the ladder. You're a BIM. Congratulations.
Yes.
Now, how do you prove you're worth it in this crazy job market?
Ooh, that's a good question.
So let's talk interview prep.
Yes. Let's talk interview prep.
Because acing that interview, that's essential.
Absolutely. That's where those AI-powered tools from RoleCatcher.
They come in. They've got a database
Mhm.
of over 120,000 interview questions.
120,000 questions. Are you serious?
I'm serious. That's incredible.
It's a lot of questions.
It is. But don't worry, we got you.
We do?
So let's break it down to the essentials.
Okay.
Regardless of which, side of the interview you're on,
Right.
Whether you're, applying or if you're the hiring manager,
Yeah.
what are some key things to keep in mind?
You're right. 120,000. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
But to get to the core of it in the business intelligence world,
Yes.
I'd say there's 3 major points.
Okay, 3 major points.
So first, you absolutely have to show off those analytical skills
Okay.
and problem-solving abilities.
Which, let's be real, if you're interested in this line of work,
Mhm.
you probably already have those, right?
Right. But it's not just about being good with numbers.
Okay.
It's about demonstrating you can use that data to, like we said,
Tell a story.
tell a story
Yeah.
and find those, aha moments. The aha moments, yes.
That lead to real change.
Yes, I love it.
Data storytelling.
Yes. Data storytelling is key.
It's key here.
It is.
And it's about using things like data visualization and, compelling narratives to communicate those insights,
Yeah.
even to people who aren't data experts.
Because not everyone speaks data.
Exactly. Not everyone speaks data.
Okay, so that's point 1, be a data storyteller.
Yes.
What's next? Point 2, you said, what else is super important to stand out in this field?
Communication. Definitely. Like you can have the best insights, groundbreaking, amazing.
Right.
But if you can't communicate them,
Right.
they're useless.
It's like the tree falling in the woods.
Exactly. If no one understands it,
Yeah.
what's the point? So
That's true.
being able to explain those complex data insights
Right.
in a way that, everyone gets,
Yes.
that's clear, concise, and, relevant.
It has to be relevant.
That's key. And thinking about your audience, too.
Yeah.
You need to bring everyone on that data journey.
I love that. The data journey.
The data journey.
Everyone's invited.
Everyone's invited.
From the CEO
Yes,
to the sales team.
exactly.
Not just the data scientists.
Not just the data people, everyone.
Because ultimately, data is only useful if people know what to do with it, right?
Exactly.
And that kind of ties into what we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
That creating a data-driven culture throughout the company.
Across the board, yes.
So-
And that brings us to point 3.
Okay, hit me.
Demonstrating that proactive approach to,
Okay.
staying updated in the field.
Staying updated. Okay.
Because things change so fast.
Yes, technology is
Like
that
the technology, new tools
all the time.
popping up left and right. So showing that you're committed to that continuous learning.
It's so important.
It's crucial.
It's not just about keeping up, you're right.
No,
It's about being ahead of the game.
exactly. You're not just keeping up. You're like one step ahead.
It's like you were saying before,
Yes.
going to conferences,
Conferences.
maybe reading those industry publications,
Right.
or even like playing around with some new data visualization tools.
Yes, exactly.
Because you've got to stay on top of it.
You have to, and that initiative, that speaks volumes.
Oh, absolutely.
Doesn't matter if you're the interviewer or the interviewee.
It shows that passion.
It shows you're passionate, you're dedicated to staying at the forefront
Yes.
of the field.
This has been incredible.
It has been fun.
We've talked about like what a business intelligence manager does.
Yes.
How they can impact a company.
Their impact, yes.
The skills needed, even how to ace that interview.
The interview, that's important.
But before we wrap things up,
Okay.
I have one final thought.
Okay.
It's a little provocative.
Ooh, I like it. Lay it on me.
Okay, so we've been talking about BIMs
Right.
in like the context of companies.
Traditional businesses.
Right, but if their whole thing is like bridging the gap between the data and the strategy.
That's their thing.
Yeah, what other roles or even like industries
Okay.
could benefit from these skills in the future?
Oh, that's an excellent question.
Right,
And honestly, I think the possibilities, they're endless.
right. I feel like the more data-driven we become,
Yes.
the more valuable this becomes.
Absolutely, we're already seeing it.
Right.
Healthcare.
Healthcare, that's a big one.
Data analysis, it's being used to personalize treatments,
Right.
improve patient outcomes,
It's incredible.
and in education,
Education.
creating those adaptive learning platforms.
Yes. To like help each student
Exactly.
fit their needs.
Exactly, tailored to their needs.
Wow, okay.
And
Yeah.
we can't forget nonprofits.
Oh, that's true.
Imagine what a good BIM could do there.
Wow. With fundraising?
Fundraising, tracking the effectiveness of programs.
Social programs especially.
It's the possibilities.
It's really any field that uses data, right?
Just-
To make those decisions.
They could all benefit.
It's about connecting it all.
Yes.
Raw numbers to the actual strategy.
Having someone who understands both and can speak both languages.
And as tech gets like even more advanced.
Oh, it's only going to get more important.
Right.
The role of a business intelligence manager, someone with those skills, it's only going to become more vital.
More vital. Yeah, I love that.
It's an exciting time.
It is exciting to think about.
It is.
It feels like we're just scratching the surface of what's possible.
Absolutely.
When you combine the data, the strategy, and like a little bit of human ingenuity.
A little bit of human ingenuity, exactly. And who knows?
Who knows?
Maybe one of our listeners
Yeah.
will be leading the way
Leading the charge.
in this whole data-driven revolution.
I love that's a great thought.
It is a great thought.
And that brings us to the end.
To the end of our deep dive.
Your deep dive into BIMs.
We've been like knee-deep in the world of business intelligence managers.
Deep dive.
But now it's your turn.
Yeah.
To like jump in.
We want to hear from you.
We do. So
Where do you see
yeah.
this whole data-driven decision-making
Okay.
expanding in the future?
It's a big question.
What other industries, what other roles do you think could use a BIM?
Yes.
A BIM's skill set?
Head over to social media,
Let us know.
share your thoughts, use hashtag the deep dive.
We want to hear it.
We'll see you next time for another deep dive.
Until then.
Keep those data fires burning.